How's it going, everybody? It's a Week 14 edition of Xerox Blueprint here from the Star in Frisco. Kyle Yeomans alongside Nick Eatman. Cowboys get ready to take on the Cincinnati Bengals on the road. It's their second straight road game up in the Northeast. Well, the Cowboys, in their last road game, did not stop the run. Is this the week, though, for the run defense to get back on track?
Well, I think it's the week for the defense to get on track. I don't know about the run defense, but I would say that, you know, Cincinnati's not going to be bringing it the way the Ravens did, and Lamar Jackson, of course. You know, they're figuring out their quarterback and all that. But we've said this, Kyle, too many times before, like, well, Washington doesn't really run the ball, and it proved to be their get-right game, and now that they've now turned into a running team since then. So you don't want that to happen with the Cowboys. I do think that they're going to, have a better situation to load up, stop the run, but got to be careful with that. I mean, Cincinnati, what they do have is they have some playmaking receivers that even showed last week they can go deep.
Well, you talked about the playmaking receivers. Tyler Boyd, 72-yard touchdown last week in the loss against Miami. It was their only touchdown, but the big play is still a threat for this defense, and this defense has shown they're pretty susceptible to that.
Oh, yeah, they'll give up some big plays, and so it's going to be one of those things like, what do you have to do? And I think you could say this in any level of football, and definitely with the Cowboys, they're going to have to stop the run. They have to do that. Now, they didn't against Baltimore, but, run, pass option, those type of plays, different kind of scenario, more of a traditional offensive set there for Cincinnati. So I think they'll have a better chance of doing that in this game, and, you just got to limit the big plays. But you got to score points on the other side. You got to put pressure on the opposing offense, and not just with like a blitz. Put pressure by scoring points, not field goals, making the field goals. So those things would help.
That would definitely help. And it's not Lamar Jackson. It's not Mark Ingram back there. Instead, it's going to be Brandon Allen and Giovanni Bernard instead. So you have an advantage there. But you mentioned the offensive side of the football. But Andy Dalton making his return to Cincinnati after 10 seasons with the Bengals. What do you think is going to come out of Andy Dalton's game this week? It's a revenge game. If you want to talk about the storylines, I know he's not focused about that. He's focused on doing the right thing.
Yeah, right. He's focused on that. He's excited about going back. And, of course, he should be. We didn't think that this would matter much other than, maybe the Cincinnati media would say, can we get Andy Dalton this week, to talk about it? And he wasn't supposed to be the quarterback, wasn't supposed to start, he wasn't supposed to be that guy, but he is. He has been now. And I think, he played pretty well against Baltimore the other night. I mean, the offensive line did a decent job. He got the ball away. He took one sack or so, and the interception was deflection. But I thought, he gave his receivers a chance. He trusted them a little bit more. The touchdown to Gallup was one, like, I'm just going to go make a play. And so I think they had something kind of clicking there. I expect him to actually do some good things in this game.
I think it was a rhythm game for the receivers. I mean, you saw Lamb involved early. Both Cooper and Gallup had a touchdown reception. Do you think the receivers can have more success against this secondary of Cincinnati this week?
I would think so. I would think they would be more balanced. I think that the running game will be there even more than it was. We'll see how much Zeke plays in this one because, he's been kind of banged up and limited in practice, but expecting to play. But still, I think that the more balanced in the running game, that will open things up even more with those receivers and maybe a chance to throw the ball down the field. But we saw he can throw it 65 yards. I didn't really know he had that in his game. No, I'm not saying you have to go do that, but if there's a 65-yard play out there, fine, call it. But there's no worry about his arm strength. He can get the ball down the field.
Yeah, he only had one play of the Cowboys offense, only had one play of more than 20 yards in the game against Baltimore. They're going to try and bring that intensity and that big play ability against Cincinnati. It's the Cowboys, it's the Bengals at noon on Fox coming up this Sunday. But for now, that's it for us on Xerox Blueprint. For Nick Eatman, I'm Kyle Yeomans. We'll see you next week.